Hello and welcome to the Tarkis Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at the game RivenWorld, the first era. And today I want to talk about three items. One is a game function that I heard about last night during the live stream that I wanted to mention. And the other two items is the frequently asked questions section and the alpha beta testing that they're going to have available. So let's go over the first item there, where there's going to be a game function or feature where I think he called them shrines. I guess that's what we'll use the term for, is shrines. And similar to the building mechanic where you have an item that you need to feed resources to pay for your taxation or your upkeep of your land, there is going to be shrines in the world that you can sacrifice items to. And those shrines are going to have an random generated RNG kind of thing, where it's going to maybe reward you with tokens. I'm going to use the word token, whatever they call it in the game. So for example, I go up to the shrine and I've collected 900 wood, right? Or logs. And I dump 900 logs into this thing. And then I get a chance, an RNG, random generated loot, and then it gives me a token, glyph, gift from the gods, whatever you want to call it. And that token is unique. And what they were talking about, those tokens would do various different things depending on what token you get. So for example, one of the examples was the token can allow you to change daytime into nighttime. So it is, you'll have the token, and let's say it's the middle of the day during the day cycle and you want to raid somebody and you got your crew there, you're ready to raid, but you know that PvP is most effective at night. You could sacrifice the token, use the token, and then the day cycle automatically goes away and it's now night again. And then the monsters come out, then PvP is fully activated. The other thing they were talking about is the binding of items in your inventory to your soul. So if you get a token that allows you to do that, if you have a weapon in your hand, you could use the token on it and it binds it to your soul. So when you die, you won't drop it, because the game has drop loot. I don't know if it's 100% everything that's in your inventory you'll drop. I don't know how that function works. I know that they talked about when you die, you drop stuff. And is that just a random of a few things that you have in your inventory, or if it's all your inventory, these tokens will allow you to soul bind items that you have so that they never drop out of your inventory. And that's how that mechanic works. And I imagine they'll have different tokens that do different things in the world. And we'll just have to see how they develop that. But I wanted to mention that little bit that I missed in my last video, that they were thinking of this shrine token system that allows you to kind of change some, the day and night cycle, and allows you to bind items to your character so that you will never drop them if you die. Okay, the next thing I want to move into is the community hub here on Steam. And then I want to go over to discussions. And under discussions, here's where you're going to see important links, which we looked at the last time I did a video. These are their links to their social media pages. And then they have the frequently asked questions. And I just want to go over this real quick with you so that if you don't want to come to this location to read it for yourself, I'll just go over it and then I'll just share with you my thoughts on the answers that they're giving to the frequently asked questions. So here we are. Are there public servers? Yes, we will provide public servers for people to play on. So the server kit, they're going to release that to the public. So you me as Tarkis can download the server kit, slap it on another box that I own, open it up, share its IP, and anyone who owns this game can do a private connection to that server. And I can add add-ons, change the code. I can do whatever I want with the server once I have it, if I know Java and scripting. And or if somebody else does a neat plugin, I'll be able to download that plugin. You can usually get those through the workshop on Steam. People load them there, and then they call them add-ons or mods, and then I can add that to my server. But outside of that, they are also, the game developer is also going to have their own public servers. And that's probably where I'll go to play, and that's where I'll do my YouTube videos moving forward. Because what I like to do with games like this, I like to stay with the core developer's vision. And if they want to add add-ons, if they want to add different functions, or if they see somebody make an amazing add-on or mod and they just want to utilize it with their permission and add it to their server, I'm fine with that. So that's where I'll probably end up being, is on one of the public servers that the game developer will be running. Is the dedicated server supported? Yes, all the server software is written in Java and will be released on an open source software once we are in early access on Steam. You can download the server software and run it on your desktop, laptop, VPS, or dedicated server, or rent one from our partners. Now, I'm hoping one of those partners is gPortal. It's just that gPortal does a good job with it. People trust gPortal. It's not really that expensive, but it also comes down to how many slots you will pay for. So, for example, I believe they had said that this game should comfortably hold 100 people at one time. Maybe more, maybe a little less. But if you go to a gPortal option, gPortal is going to say, yeah, we're going to host that game for you, and one slot will cost you $4 a month. And then what happens is, if you want 100 people on your server, then they give you a pro rate. It could be $40 for a month, or they could give you a package deal where it's $80 for 3 months, and you got a 100 slot server. So you usually have to pay for how many people you want on the server all at once. Now, a lot of times these servers can hold 500-600 people. It's just that they can't all be on at once. So, you get 100 people, that caps the server, and then people need to wait in line. So they should have an auto kick function in this game. So if you're idle and not doing anything for, let's say, 8 minutes, it kicks you back out, and then it opens up a spot for somebody else. That's just my thinking. What engine is RivenWorld using? We built the RivenWorld using Unreal Engine 5 to allow us to use Lumen and create a immersive world. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive. Unreal Engine 5 definitely is going to, I think, perform well if they do their scripting well. Do I need to rent a server? No, the server software will be freely under an open source license. Can I mod the game? You can develop Java plugins using the RivenWorld server SDK, allowing you to adjust and alter everything about the game logic. We're planning to add in mods on the client in the future. Does the game has voice chat? Yes, the server and game both support proximity voice chat. Now, the proximity voice chat can be changed a little bit depending on if you're running your own server. You can make it global, you can tighten up the radius, or you could shut it off altogether. I like proximity voice. I also like using Discord at the same time, because I can talk to my guildies who are not near me. But then again, if I'm in the game, I'll be able to talk to people that are walking by me, which is nice, allows for good community interactions. But it's also can be used as a trolling mechanism to troll people verbally on the world. So you also want to be able to put a mechanic in that allows me to mute an idiot. I've had idiots like that walk up to me and they start blasting their radio, and they take their mic and put it next to their radio. So I'm sitting there listening to some heavy metal nonsense, and then I'll run away from the person. The person just keeps on following me, and I'm forced to listen to whatever they're playing on their computer, and with no hope to mute them, because the game function didn't have that. So I'm hoping that the game function has the mute, so that I don't, or I could just shut it off on game settings, no proximity, which kind of sucks because I want the proximity to be on to actually talk to valid people who want to talk to me, but I don't want to have to deal with the idiots that are just rolling up to me playing I had one person playing like background porn, and it was like, really, dude? And it was just terrible, inappropriate stuff. And that was one game I played in the past. And what was nice about that game is you can report the person for harassment. You can also mute the person. So I did both those things and kind of just moved on. Who is making RivenWorld? We are a small team based in Houston, Texas that usually works on aerospace software for NASA and other commercial space companies. We're always wanted to build a game, so here we are with RivenWorld. Can I monetize the server? We will not limit anyone's ability to monetize their servers. We believe in the power of a community and want to see how far this game can grow. Now, yeah, I mean, capitalism. I mean, if I want to make an Uber, if I get their game, if I was savvy and I got their game server and I did all sorts of mods, all sorts of JavaScripting, all sorts of bunch of stuff to build on the core game, and it's an epic experience on my server, and I charge you $5 to have access to it, then that's just the way it is. I mean, and people will go and pay their $5 to join a server, or it could be a subscription fee, or who knows what you can do. It's just that, again, they're going to be public servers that anyone can play on. So I don't know how many people you're going to get to migrate to a pay server if there's public ones available, plus there's going to be a community ones available that obviously people will post. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll work, but they're saying that go ahead and do what you want to do. Will there be a demo? Yes, we're working on a playable demo for anyone to test. And that's where we're going to go to the next thing here on the discussions page, join alpha and beta access. Here, you got to click this link, join today. It's going to pop up a window, which I'm seeing on my other screen, that's going to say, oh, you're leaving Steam. Do you really want to leave Steam? Continue to the external site. You click that. And from there, I'm going to move this here. So this is what the site was that it sends it to you. Now, for some reason, it wants to default my Gmail account. I don't I do use it, but that's my Gmail account for my YouTube channel. So I do get messages from that. But my main email is here, and I don't care that the world sees it. I've got a Barracuda on so I don't get spam. I don't get nonsense. I don't have to deal with that crap. And I run in multiple businesses that I use this email account with, so I don't mind everybody seeing that. You put your name, Tarkis. I put my name, Tarkis, in. They're asking you to join tell you what your Discord ID is. I didn't fill that out. I assume they know me. I'm on their Discord. And then it asks you to wish list it on Steam. I have wish listed on Steam, and then submit. So I'm assuming that they're really wanting to allow people to beta test the game who actually have an interest in buying the game when it comes out. All right. So going back to general discussions. So that's really what's on the discussions currently. We go back to the person asking for single player, and the developer actually answered exactly what I was thinking when I did a video on this last time was, look, you can just run your own server on your own box and just play on it, and that's single player. I mean, you're not required to play with anyone else. It's just that the game itself, when you go to play the game, it's going to want to connect to a server. The game itself, standalone, is not going to be like a lot of games are standalone. You go just play them. This game is going to require you to connect to the server platform. So maybe they bundle it in a way where when you activate the game, it automatically run the server platform in the background. and then you're kind of double dipping on your computer resources because it's got to run that plus the client game which connects to that. I mean, but it's possible. And what I would suggest to people if they want to take this route is just put the server on another computer on your network that's not being utilized while you're playing. So this way that computer can easily run the software, server software, and then you connect to it through a LAN connection or a IP connection, or I mean, whatever the developers have made for that. I mean, you could hit, they might have a button that says search for local networks, and you hit the button and it searches for just like you search for a printer on your Wi-Fi. It's like, oh yeah, I found a local network server, and I'll connect to that at this time. And then they'll have probably a button that says search for a public server. You hit a button, it gives you a list of all the public servers. So that's, games have done it different ways, and it's not rocket science. I mean, these guys are aerospace people, so I mean, I imagine they could probably do this sitting on the toilet watching a YouTube video, right? I mean, it's not complex stuff to get people to connect to various servers that the game developer has made. So let's just go back to the store page. They haven't put a price on this game yet. I imagine they're waiting to see what their early access Kickstarter page generates for revenue. And obviously you got to pay developers for their time and their effort. And a lot of games nowadays are running around the $20 mark, $30 mark. Your AAA games like Diablo, which is coming out shortly, that's a $70 game. There's a vampire game from Bethesda that's coming out. They got that as a $70 game, which is, it's not worth $70. I mean, I wish I could remember it off my head, the name of the game, but I was just doing a video on it the other day, and it's like, really, guys, this is not a $70 game. And you actually go to the Steam platform and read all the discussions, and like 90% of the discussions for that game that I'm mentioning, all saying this is not a $70 game. And I don't know why certain games are valued like that. That's a lot of money for some folks. And so it's, it is what it is. So I'm thinking that they're going to be probably in the $20, $30 range, maybe $40 range, depending on how much effort they put into making it seamless for people to run their own servers. Who knows? They're going to probably let us know shortly after testing. So that's really it. I'm going to conclude this video by saying that you should definitely come to the Steam page and wishlist it. At least you'll be in the discussion. You'll be able to see the discussions. Well, you don't have to wish list to come to the discussions, but it also allows you the developer to know how many people might be interested in playing their game, because they obviously know how many people have wish listed it, right? I mean, so if 100,000 people wish list your game and you're in the development stage, that gives you an incentive to finish your project, right? Get this thing out, because you got all these people waiting for it. All right, we'll just show you some of these pictures that they've put up. They're doing streaming every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, so just keep that in mind. And what I did, well, the two places that they really have it is on their, for you to quickly get to the streams, is on their Facebook page. They do it live, and on their YouTube channel, they do it live. On their Discord, there's a link, or there's a thing that's telling you that there's a live stream going on. So those are the three ways to easily get notified when they're doing their live stream. Well, I hope this video finds you well. I hope you're excited about the game as much as I am. I do really recommend that if you have questions about this game that weren't addressed in this video, or you don't see answered in their frequently asked questions, come to their discussion page and ask those questions, and this way we can get information. The developers have been really good at giving us information as this has been going on, and answering questions that people might have about the game. You see it on their Discord channel. You see it during their live streams. They make an effort to answer your questions. I mean, I ask a lot of questions only because that's what I do. I look at video games, I play video games, I review video games, I do videos on video games, I give walkthroughs in how to play video games easy enough. If you've seen any of my content, I'm a very good person to deconstruct a game and show people how to easily maneuver through a game with my videos. And I think this is going to be a perfect game for that, where there's going to be things in the game that might be a little complex for some people, and I'll be able to do walkthrough videos that say, look, this is how you do it from beginning to end, and the end product is this. All right, well, thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkis Zone.